Tonight on Hipstar Tonight. Now available on iTunes. Purchases now online at hipstar.ca. The original 1-800-NEED-A-GIMMICK.com. Please send your contributions to the Heart and Soul Foundation. It is tonight. Tonight on Hipstar Tonight.
Wednesday, Social Media Wednesday, if you didn't recognize. June 7th, 2017. A week ago, Cornette on his podcast has some up-to-date heat about his arch nemesis, the Vince Russo. And, you know, this has to be the only reason people are still listening to Cornette's show. You have to admit, man, the same reason they're actually regular listeners for Ryback's podcast. We all know they're going to be highly opinionated, and they have to be, because they make their juice seem like it's a shoot, because if they tried to do another Dave Meltzer, they would have no listens, right? Now, the clip is about Russo apparently writes Vince an email after every TV program, sharing his thoughts and adding why, if he was still an active writer for the Fed, what he could offer, what he would change, you know? And Cornette just ridicules this, and he says that he's a complete loser for doing this, like begging for a job. I don't know, man. I don't know your thoughts. I honor it. I love the fucking tenacity. Like, even though he doesn't have a job, he still writes his former employer and tributes. That's what makes a fucking hard, dedicated worker, doesn't it?
No, it's Vince Russo. Nobody likes Vince Russo anymore, so
come on.
He doesn't have a job. Well, why would he be writing Vince? Like, why does he have to write Vince? Like, you're not in the business anymore.
Yeah,
Jim Cornette just was on a network special, Table for Three. He doesn't have to beg to go on a fucking wrestling show. Yeah. Vince Russo's not doing anything, Zach.
Russo did not want to be on that. He was probably asked, and he probably had wanted nothing to do with it. So he's kind of hiding, but, you know, if he's still up to date watching the product, that means he's studying. That means that he could change, all right? As any humanitarian, if you have a soul, Jay, or a solid belief that people can change and can reflect upon their shitty ways and, you know, not do the same things twice, this man has reached a high and now he's at his lowest. He has seen his life at both ends, and there's no way he wants to be any lower, right? I trust him.
So what do you want to do with this guy?
I want to fucking give him a job. I put him in there, try him again. All right, so he had more flops than he had successes. But, I mean, he's tried different things.
You need to book him at Hogtown Wrestling, because nobody's going to book this guy, is what I'm trying to say to you.
Oh, could you imagine?
You know, and, like, Vince's argument is, like, you know, the ratings were higher when he ran things as opposed to now. But the fucking ratings were higher. I could turn on Paul Orndorff versus Hulk Hogan in Toronto at fucking stadium, and it drew 70,000 people. So what the fuck is he talking about? And that was the 80s.
I want to believe that he knows now, especially if he's been watching every week, should know how wrestling has changed and what sports entertainment has become. It is desperate.
Have you seen a recent picture of Vince Russo? Looks like shit.
But he vlogs. You're right. He's a regular social media advocate, right? On a Social Media Wednesday. I mean, he's giving out his thoughts, and he's creating new ones every day. That makes the fucking best comedians. So you know what? Vince Russo deserves to make some money.
Is it necessary? Let me ask you a question, Hipstar, and maybe the audience, if you want to put a poll up somewhere. Is it necessary for a guy that's a show writer to want to generate so much heat and want to be in the spotlight that you know you're a show writer? Like, why is it necessary for a show writer to be like cutting promos, cutting controversial podcasts, pretending he's Howard Stern? Like, if you need a job, like, why don't you... Does it have to be that you write wrestling? Can you not write a soap opera, a reality show, Friends? Can you not sell shit? Even Eric Bischoff and that Jason Hervey fucking kid sell their shit off. Like, Russo's doing nothing. Like, emailing Vince McMahon, a 72-year-old man, isn't going to get you anywhere.
Okay, well, bro. You know, you could go work in a sitcom and sell yourself out. Maybe it wouldn't make him happy, Jay. Maybe he just has that passion for wrestling.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't see the reason why we shouldn't give him a chance. The man wants to work, and at least he's not like fucking Cornette, who's just, he starts off his podcast every time with, now I didn't watch the episode because I can't stand to watch that garbage they call wrestling anymore. But I heard this. And he says that every time, man. It is no longer wrestling, though wrestling is in the acronym.
You don't need to watch
right?
it in order to cut a promo. If you can cut a promo, then you know how to do it.
So he's doing this
and Russo is just like, I don't know what more we can offer you, Russo.
Dude. No, Cornette, I have more heat on Cornette for how he chose to go about releasing this news.
But nobody cares about Cornette. No one's going to listen to Jim Cornette anyway.
No, should they? You know what? He is outdated. I'm sorry to say. I respect him, but he's old, man. His opinion is old, and he can't even start off his opinionated, hurtful, offensive, and careless hate speech by even admitting that you don't even know what you're talking about. He says that right away. I don't watch it, and that's when your opinion is not valid, bro.
I find it interesting that Vince Russo does his daily podcast, it's up every day, and he's got one sponsor, ShaveForLess.com.
Yeah, well...
he's not making any money doing this.
Well, if he's making more than Russo, then that's something that needs to change. Because at least somebody's being creative and absurd, but that's what being a creative writer is all about. You think outside the box, and it's disrespectful to wrestling, but I mean... There's shows especially in Canada.
Well,
you have to respect.
That's your opinion. Fantasy booking. I think that you should take your entire Hogtown Wrestling production.
Ooh.
Give them the book. Give them the Barricades, the Rages. Lionel Knights, the Christopher Bishops. Give them everybody. Nick Watts, and let's see what Russo can do. Give Russo a job. You got to give Russo a job. Put your money where your mouth is, Hipstar.
Okay. You know what? I think it's worth it. We have tons of content up there, and if he wants to watch it, then try it out, okay? You're not going to like it. Well, you might not like it, too. Right? But you might see possibility.
He might see... This is a man that beat Vince... this is a man that wrote for Nitro, TNA, and WWE. He... Will not like Hogtown, but...
Well, maybe try. If you want to come to Toronto, man, you're more than welcome to stay on my wrestling mats.
He is a friend of Glenn Gilberti, so he may like Eddie Sabalucci.
Well, right? Yeah, the Sapster.
Right.
Noons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's potential out there, man. And maybe it doesn't have to be in the major leagues, the big product anymore. I know you need to make money. Maybe you can reach out and pick something out of the dirt and make it unbelievably huge. And don't sell out. Don't do that stupid indie wrestling, man, all right? They just want to kick each other every match.
No.
Make a
Vince
show.
Will just want to, sell you on the fact that he's a consultant.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to fly into town, and he can just do this from his laptop.
That's great, then.
He could just... And you know what? A guy like Hutch would love it. Because he loves the advice. So, he would sit there and absorb everything that Vince Russo's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you should hook this up because it's an easy payday for Russo, really. Because Russo... If you're listening, you can just say whatever you want to this guy, and he'll just go do it. And you get paid.
That's true. It's Greasy Parkdale money, but it's still in coin. Hey,
but if we had Russo, we could become #1 in the ratings on Rogers, and that's important.
I don't know. I don't mean to completely hate on Jim either, but just want to say, make money off the old days, all right, and leave the writers who actually want to improve and change how the product is doing alone. Just leave it alone, man. Shit. Oh, well, getting heated on a social media day, all right?
It's fine, Hipstar, but,
I missed the show.
You cannot take away the legendary stories of Jim Cornette and the Midnight Express. And that's something that I find very foul, that,
Still history,
you're turning on Jim Cornette when he managed one of the greatest tag teams in the NWA.
Well, that's absolutely true. He also managed the Heavenly Bodies, so I don't know what to believe.
Who?
Exactly. Right? It's a shame. It's a damn shame. What are you going to do when you live in a
Wasn't that Chris Candido? He died, didn't he?
No, they weren't the Heavenly Bodies. They're the guys with the bad mullets, and the one guy would wiggle.
Yeah, Tom Pritchard.
Yeah, Tom Pritchard, yeah. They're the Heavenly Bodies, yeah. And Cornette would just scream. And he still screams, but you know what? You don't have to be as bitter. That's what the mark is for. That's what the fans for now. The modern smart.
You wonder, if
mad.
Cornette on the road got, rats and shit. He's been on the road forever. He's never had a job ever.
No, he's loyal to his wife, all right? He's a loyal man, humble. I'm married to my wife for 700 years. And let me tell you, I would sit in that room and I would tell him, fuck you. I would say that to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, man. Whatever.
Jim Cornette.
I missed the show. We're coming off from a high of a busy weekend, and I got another one coming up where I'm getting married, but, we can talk about that. It's going to be great, and it's going to be at the Rock Pile, so maybe we'll do a live toast. I asked Jay to carry me off to the wedding, and he doesn't want to do it, so maybe I'll just show up by myself. I'll just show up by myself. I still don't understand you. I told you this is a big moment for me, but
yeah, but it's a gay wedding. It's something I don't support. I support Donald Trump and his administration in a lot of cases, and okay. I just don't feel that as a draw. Like, why am I going to be on a show that, we're talking Comic-Con, Hogtown this past weekend, and, like, coming up some of the big shows with Dan Severn, and, you're going to be marrying Freddie Mercurio.
Yeah.
And pretending to get that over.
It's start to a beautiful relationship, and the promos I've been getting out there, I love them. I'm really motivated for this, so it's going to be a big day in my life, and I'm never going to forget it. Probably get something tattooed on me to remember it, like a wedding cake.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to get over, Hipstar.
Well,
I'm just trying to be honest with you.
Thanks, man. Hey, whatever. I still got the bookings, and now Oshawa wants to run twice a month, so I'm going back at the end of the month, so that'll be cool. The kids there are fucking mean, but... I don't know what you're raising your kids to be. Little shits. Hate to say, but they were really cute, and I like talking to them. So, like, eclectic.
I've never had a good experience in Oshawa. Like, the fans, it's the same fans I've been seeing for years. And I don't know, man. Like, a lot of these workers and the boys keep talking about the schwa, like it's like you're such a great territory. But, I don't know. They're not very bright. It's a fucking dump of a shit town.
They don't get a lot over there, They don't even have a Papa John's. It's tough. It's a tough life. Basic cable all the time.
Fuck the schwa.
All right, but I like going back and visiting every once in a while, and I'll be going back.
I enjoyed my bookings there too, but like Sean Murley obviously doesn't want to book me again, and you're not stepping up for me where I could manage life of the party, And,
I could barely get booked. I wouldn't be there if it weren't for Landry, man. So that's I'm grateful for that. And he liked the GCW days, which I couldn't have done if it weren't for Screech. So I'd like to thank you, Screech, for a lot. He's gone completely insane now, and I think I made him mad on Sunday. So he won't return my messages, so I'm worried about that. I hope we get along okay, But when you're a crazy person...
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, when you're crazy. Fuck.
Well, don't worry about it. Who cares? He probably doesn't have free Wi-Fi.
But I'm not like you, where I'm just gonna throw away friendships. Okay? He's not that good of a friend. I'll tell you that right now. Like Screech, in a lot of ways, is in business for himself, and we know that. So we all are, though. All right? We didn't see that in all our friends, like Whitey and all that. But you gotta act like that, man, because you gotta survive somehow. It's tough out there. Why did it take till now to realize that this is a second job? I'm fucking responsible with this. Save your fucking money. No, you don't have to go out to Swiss Chalet with the boys after. You can say no. You can just say no. It doesn't matter if Rennie's there. All right? These Swiss Chalet's overpriced anyways, and you're not going to feel full in the next 2 hours. So fuck it.
No. Yeah.
Oh. Hey.
A lot of the production has been going ape shit in Studio C.
Well, it has, yeah. Well, how so? You okay?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I've been like doing overdubs and fucking voiceovers for pilots and shit, it's just like none of this stuff's getting off the ground.
You just hate seeing those letters, yeah.
I just like it's Hutch, man. I don't want to drop names, but it's Hutch. It's like bothering me to fucking keep driving to Toronto to do these voiceovers for these shows that aren't getting off the ground. Well, I don't know what more to do. What? Like, fucking, I think
Well, it's still for the internet, and the internet's bigger than cable, man. It's larger than life, so the internet's important, too.
Yeah, and I got some big news coming up on, Priest and Zentridius edits.
Ooh, can't wait.
Fight TV, the Fight TV app, so episode 1 is up, a 40-minute show. If you want to go back and look at Hutch's old footage.
He must
put
be
up
livid.
by Priest and...
He must be pissed.